He believes Russian president more than he believes, for example, his own intelligence. And today, the representative of the United States in NATO spoke that he thinks that he is not sure it was a real attack, and it's not proven at all, basically. And yet, of course, this is an indicator for Ukrainians that the security guarantees from the United States, they should be really very firm in U.S. law, and they should not rely on Trump.
War analysts have declared that there's no evidence to suggest a Ukrainian strike on Vladimir Putin's residence after Moscow claimed that there was an attack on the Russian president's home involving 89 drones. Now, the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, says the Kremlin will review its position on a planned peace deal with Ukraine due to the alleged attack. President Zelensky has denied the claims, telling reporters it was another lie from the Russian Federation and an attempt to derail the talks. He described the peace deal as 90% done after meeting President Trump at Mar-a-Lago in Florida on Sunday. The US president gave his reaction to the alleged strike.
I don't like it. It's not good. I heard about it this morning. You know who told me about it? President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was attacked. It's no good. It's no good. Don't forget, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I didn't want that. Because we're talking about, it's a delicate period of time. This is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive, because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that, and can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
President Trump seems to trust President Putin. Let's speak to Olena Tregub, who's the Secretary General of NAKO. Forgive me if I got this wrong. Is it NAKO or NAKO, the Ukrainian Defence and Security think tank? How do you prefer to pronounce your acronym, Olena?
We pronounce NAKO, but people do it both ways.
Okay, NAKO. Well, we'll stick with your pronunciation, which I think is only apposite for a Secretary General. Did your heart sink when you listened to that clip? Because mine did.
Well, at this point, we don't really react emotionally to whatever Donald Trump says, because, just a few days ago, he said that Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. And he also said that Ukraine has started the war. So we heard many things from him. And it's not the first time he said that actually he believes Russian president more than he believes, for example, his own intelligence. And today, the representative of the United States in NATO spoke that he thinks that he is not sure it was a real attack, and it's not proven at all, basically. And yet, of course, this is an indicator for Ukrainians that the security guarantees from the United States, they should be really very firm in U.S. law, and they should not rely on Trump at all, because, any false flag operation like this, and Trump would say, I believe Putin over believing anybody, Ukraine or my own intelligence services, and therefore your security guarantees are now off the table, and Russia can restart the war. So this only, to Ukrainian society, only gives this another signal not to trust current Trump administration with their security promises, and to require something which is not yet offered to Ukraine during this negotiation process.
It's a constant reminder of the dreadful situation that Ukraine, the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian president are in. What do you think President Zelensky is trying to grope his way towards? Do you think that he has now accepted that the territorial gains that Russia has made will not be rescinded, and the best that Ukraine can hope for is demilitarized zones, security guarantees which involves boots on the ground in Ukraine, funding, and, as you say, these legal treaties that will guarantee continued support going presumably past President Trump's time in office to allow Ukraine to breathe easy and try and recover from this war and accept that although they've lost territory, the West is going to ensure they don't ever lose any more.
Yes, even though their negotiations are not public, we receive information, some pieces of information, and my understanding currently is that what Zelensky means by 90% ready is that the agreement is 90% ready. What it means is that it's ready on Ukrainian side. In this draft agreement, whatever is required from Ukraine is very firm and very clear. And it even, requires Ukraine to take certain steps, certain legal actions inside Ukraine. Some additional, measures are needed, and all that is laid out very clearly. However, what is unclear in this agreement is what kind of security guarantees. Those are not clearly outlined. And moreover, when it comes to European countries, in general, they all say that in order for them to prepare additionally European security guarantees on top of American security guarantees, they need to put it through their parliament. So that piece is not ready as well. And the final piece, which is not ready, Russia. Is Russia ready to stop the war? Even if this whole agreement is ready 99% by everybody else, but there is one missing piece, Vladimir Putin saying yes to stopping the war, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, we don't even have a ceasefire, do we? I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there, Olena, but thank you very much for your time. It's Olena Tregub, Secretary General of NAKO, a Ukrainian defense and security think tank.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told media in a WhatsApp chat Tuesday that Kyiv was discussing with Washington a possible presence of U.S. troops in Ukraine. He said it would be a major security boost as part of a peace deal with Russia. The White House had no comment on the issue of dispatching U.S. troops to Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russia said Tuesday its negotiating stance would toughen after it accused Ukraine of attacking one of Putin's Russian presidential residences. The Kremlin provided no physical evidence of the alleged incident. Zelensky called the claim a complete fabrication intended to justify additional attacks against Ukraine. He did say he was committed to continuing talks on how to end the war, triggered by Russia's 2022 full-scale invasion, and was ready to meet Putin in any format. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Sunday he and Zelensky were maybe very close to an agreement to end the war, although thorny territorial issues lingered. He was more cautious than Zelensky on security guarantees, but said they were 95% of the way to such an agreement, and that he expected European countries to take over a big part of that effort with U.S. backing.